Imagine being in an environment where interactions are draining and criticism seem to weigh more than compliments. Have you ever felt exhausted after a meeting or conversation without quite understanding why? Have you noticed how a single negative comment can echo in your mind for days, while compliments quickly fade amid daily concerns? Perhaps you've experienced moments when you questioned your ability to deal with toxic people or challenging situations and wished you had a strategy to protect your inner peace. These situations are more common than we think and can profoundly affect our emotional health. However, there are approaches and practices that can transform the way we interact with the world, making us more resilient and balanced. Let's explore how self-awareness can help us manage harmful interactions, how we can strengthen our sense of identity amidst adversity, and why setting personal boundaries is crucial for our mental health. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos, and more importantly, don't forget to leave your comment. Let's get started. Self-awareness and response to toxicity. Self-awareness is essential for managing harmful interactions, providing an emotional shield that safeguards our serenity. By identifying our reactions and understanding the stimuli that affect us, we have the option to choose responses that mitigate the harmful effects of these interactions. This process of recognition increases our ability to be less impulsive and more intentional in our behavior, allowing us to transform a vicious cycle of adversity into a path of personal growth and emotional balance. By cultivating self-awareness, we learn to pause and reflect before responding, avoiding instinctive reactions that can escalate conflicts. This skill makes us more adept at identifying not only external triggers, but also our internal vulnerabilities that these triggers may activate. With this understanding, we can restructure our responses in ways that preserve our emotional integrity and promote a healthier environment for ourselves and others. This process of self-analysis and moderation benefits us individually and positively impacts our relationships. It allows us to set healthy boundaries which are crucial for maintaining respectful and constructive relationships. By doing so, we not only better manage the toxicity of others, but also avoid perpetuating harmful behaviors. Developing self-awareness is a continuous journey that requires practice and dedication. It includes moments of introspection, where we question our motivations and actions, seeking to align them with our deepest values. This inner exploration empowers us to act with greater authenticity and choose responses that not only diffuse tense situations, but also foster understanding and empathy. Strengthening the sense of self through emotional stability. Strengthening our personal sense of identity amidst adversity requires persistence and calm. Emotional stability, a fundamental pillar in this process, enables us to face criticism and negativity without it shaking our self-esteem or tranquility. By developing an internal fortress, we learn to distinguish between external influences and focus on what is essential, our reaction and personal development. Cultivating this internal robustness begins with recognizing our emotions and thoughts without hasty judgments. Accepting that feelings of discomfort or sadness are natural parts of the human experience allows us to deal with them more healthily. This way, we are no longer dominated by fleeting emotions, but can observe them, understand their origins, and then consciously decide how to respond to them. Additionally, emotional stability involves building a positive and resilient self-image. This is achieved by celebrating our accomplishments and learning from our mistakes without defining ourselves by them. Self-compassion is crucial here. Being kind to ourselves in moments of failure or doubt strengthens our ability to face future challenges with greater confidence and less self-judgment. Another important aspect is maintaining healthy boundaries in our relationships. Knowing how to say no or express our needs without guilt helps protect our emotional integrity. This teaches us to value our well-being as much as we value others, balancing emotional exchanges in interpersonal relationships. The practice of mindfulness is also a valuable tool for strengthening the sense of self. It teaches us to live in the present and engage with our internal and external reality without reactivity. This heightened state of awareness helps us identify thought patterns that may be sabotaging our peace of mind and replace them with more constructive ones. Developing a reliable support network is equally vital. Having people we can trust and who support us unconditionally strengthens our emotional resilience. These relationships provide a safe space to express our vulnerabilities and seek guidance without fear of judgment. Strengthening the sense of self is a continuous process of self-knowledge and growth. It not only improves our individual quality of life, but also enriches our interactions with others, making us more empathetic, understanding, and capable of contributing positively to the world around us. Through this constant effort to maintain our emotional stability, we can not only survive but thrive even in the most challenging circumstances. The importance of forgiveness and memory in navigating relationships. Forgiving someone does not mean erasing memories. Instead, it represents a conscious decision to let go of the weight of resentment, allowing us to move forward with greater freedom. Memory, in turn, serves as a lifelong guide, warning us not to repeat past mistakes or fall into destructive behaviors. The combination of forgiveness and memory creates a kind of emotional compass that guides us through the intricate dynamics of relationships, helping us to identify who deserves our emotional investment and who needs to be kept at a distance. This perspective on forgiveness and memory is crucial for developing healthy and lasting relationships. The act of forgiving frees not only the person who hurt us, but also ourselves, enabling us to move past the past and focus on the present. However, this does not mean emotional amnesia. The memory of previous experiences stays with us, acting as a warning for future interactions, ensuring that we are cautious and avoid repeating the same mistakes. This duality between forgiveness and memory requires a delicate balance. It is necessary to be generous in forgiveness and wise in the use of memories. By forgiving, we let go of old hurts, promoting our own healing and well-being. On the other hand, by keeping the lessons learned alive, we strengthen our ability to set effective boundaries and choose companions who respect and enrich our lives. The practice of forgiveness can also redefine relationships, turning old conflicts into opportunities for growth and mutual understanding. Even though the memory of past transgressions remains, it does not need to be an obstacle to reconciliation and renewing bonds. Instead, these memories can become foundations for a new and perhaps deeper connection. Cultivating a forgiving approach along with a sense of historical memory helps us navigate the complex world of human relationships with more wisdom and compassion. By balancing these two elements, we not only protect our emotional health, but also build more authentic and respectful interactions, thus establishing the foundation for genuinely enriching and gratifying relationships. Developing emotional resilience in the face of toxic people. Developing emotional resilience is crucial for preserving sanity and balance when confronted with toxic behaviors. This resilience starts with understanding that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can entirely control our response to them. By cultivating this skill, we shield ourselves from emotional exhaustion and direct our energy toward aspects of life that truly promote growth and satisfaction. The first step in strengthening emotional resilience is to recognize and accept our emotions without judgment. This means allowing ourselves to feel anger, sadness, or frustration without letting these emotions dominate our actions. The practice of mindfulness can be particularly useful here, enabling us to observe our feelings objectively and choose more considered responses instead of impulsive reactions. Another fundamental aspect is establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries. Toxic people often test our limits, and it is essential to know when and how to say no or walk away from harmful situations. These boundaries not only protect our emotional well-being, but also send a clear message about what is and is not acceptable in our relationships. Developing a reliable support network is equally vital. Having friends, family, or colleagues who understand and support us can provide the emotional backing needed to handle difficult situations. These positive relationships act as an anchor, helping us maintain perspective and emotional strength during times of adversity. Emotional resilience also benefits from the practice of self-compassion. Being kind to ourselves in challenging moments is fundamental. Instead of blaming ourselves for being affected by toxic behaviors, it is important to acknowledge the difficulty of the situation and treat ourselves with the same empathy and understanding we would offer a close friend. Maintaining a positive and growth-focused outlook is also essential. Even amidst toxic interactions, it is possible to find opportunities for learning and personal growth. Reflecting on what the experience is teaching can transform a negative situation into a source of inner strength. Practicing activities that promote physical and mental well-being, such as regular exercise, meditation, creative hobbies, and leisure time, significantly contributes to building emotional resilience. These activities help balance our emotions and reinforce our ability to handle challenges in a healthy and constructive way. If you're finding value in this content, why not pause for a moment and reflect? Think about the last time you faced a negative situation. How did you respond? Leave your comment below to share your experience and what you learned. Your story can inspire others to find new ways to handle similar challenges. Using the wisdom and quotes of Marcus Aurelius on human nature. The philosophical reflections of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, offer profound wisdom on human nature that can guide us in navigating challenging interactions. His meditations invite us to look beyond people's superficial actions to understand their underlying motivations. By internalizing that negativity often reflects others' internal conflicts rather than a personal attack, we can cultivate a more balanced and compassionate perspective, Marcus Aurelius wrote. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. This quote reminds us that often negative behavior from others stems from their own lack of understanding and suffering, not from something we have done. Recognizing this helps us avoid taking criticism and hostility personally. This emotional detachment not only protects us from feelings of hurt and resentment, but also allows us to respond more calmly and rationally. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose responses that promote peace and understanding for ourselves and others. Marcus Aurelius also said the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This teaching encourages us to maintain positive and constructive thoughts, even when faced with external negativity. By focusing on our own thoughts and attitudes, we maintain control over our inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Adopting a Stoic approach, as suggested by Marcus Aurelius, means accepting that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. He advises us to accept without arrogance and let go without attachment, emphasizing the importance of not clinging to negativity. This helps us maintain a calm and balanced state of mind even in adverse situations. Additionally, Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the transience of life and situations. Soon you will have forgotten all things, and soon all things will have forgotten you. This reflection on impermanence helps us put difficulties into perspective, understanding that negative situations are temporary and should not define our life or well-being. By embracing these Stoic principles, we can navigate human interactions with greater wisdom and compassion, fostering a more resilient and peaceful mindset. Stoicism as a tool to face challenges. Stoicism, an ancient and practical philosophy, teaches us to clearly distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This distinction is fundamental for managing our emotions and dealing with everyday challenges. By focusing our energy only on what we can influence, Stoicism helps us reduce anxiety and improve our emotional control, especially in adverse situations where our emotional response can be our greatest obstacle. The essence of Stoicism can be found in the words of Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This quote reminds us that often the source of our distress is not the situation itself, but the way we interpret it. By adopting a Stoic perspective, we learn to challenge and restructure our thoughts, reducing the emotional burden we place on ourselves. Another central lesson of Stoicism is the concept of the dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasizes the importance of focusing on our actions and attitudes while serenely accepting what we cannot change. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Applying this idea in daily life means recognizing that we cannot control the actions of others, the weather, or unpredictable events, but we can control our reactions, decisions, and attitudes towards these circumstances. Stoicism equips us with practical tools to face adversities with equanimity. One such tool is the practice of negative visualization, where we imagine possible challenges or losses that might occur. This is not an exercise in pessimism, but a way to prepare ourselves emotionally and appreciate more what we have. By imagining difficult scenarios, we are less likely to be caught off guard and more prepared to handle them calmly. Additionally, Stoics recommend the daily practice of reflection and gratitude. Taking time to reflect on the day that has passed, recognizing our actions and learning from them, as well as expressing gratitude for the good things we have, helps us maintain a positive and balanced perspective. This habit not only improves our emotional well-being, but also strengthens our resilience in the face of future difficulties. Stoic philosophy also emphasizes the importance of living according to our values and virtues. Virtues such as courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom guide our actions and decisions in moments of crisis. By focusing on these virtues, we find an anchor that keeps us grounded and helps us make decisions aligned with our principles even under pressure. Moreover, Stoicism reminds us of the impermanence of life. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, all things human are short-lived and perishable, and even our bodies are transient shadows. This understanding of transience helps us put our problems in perspective, recognize that everything is temporary, and encourages us to value the present without excessive fear of the future. By incorporating Stoic principles into our lives, we can face challenges with greater wisdom and composure, fostering a mindset that not only helps us endure difficulties, but also thrive through them. Impact of a single negative comment versus compliments. The human tendency to give more weight to criticism than praise is a well-documented psychological phenomenon and can have a profound impact on our self-image and emotional state. This bias, known as negativity bias, causes negative experiences such as critical comments to have a more lasting and significant effect than positive experiences. If not properly managed, this can lead to a deterioration in self-esteem and emotional well-being. When we receive a negative comment, our immediate reaction is often intense and emotional. This type of feedback can trigger a spiral of self-criticism, causing us to doubt our abilities and self-worth. On the other hand, compliments tend to be accepted modestly and often underestimated. This imbalance can distort our self-perception, highlighting our perceived flaws more than our qualities. Learning to process negative feedback constructively is essential to minimizing its impact. Firstly, it's important to consider the source of the criticism and the context in which it was made. Not all criticism is valid or useful. Some may reflect the critic's own problems or insecurities. Evaluating the intention behind the comment can help determine whether it deserves our attention. Next, we can train our minds to respond to negative feedback with curiosity rather than reactivity. Asking ourselves what we can learn from the criticism and how we can use this information to improve can turn a potentially negative experience into an opportunity for growth. This requires practice and a conscious shift in how we interpret feedback. Additionally, it is vital to cultivate an internal environment of self-compassion. Being kind to ourselves after receiving criticism and remembering that making mistakes is part of the human process can protect our self-esteem. Acknowledging our successes and celebrating small achievements are practices that counterbalance the effect of criticism and reinforce a positive self-image. Balancing the scale between criticism and compliments also involves actively recognizing positive feedback. Saving compliments, revisiting past achievements, and reflecting on the positive aspects of our performance are effective ways to strengthen our self-image. Sharing our successes with supportive friends and family can amplify the impact of compliments, helping us internalize them more deeply. Seeking constructive feedback, both positive and negative, can help us grow without becoming fixated on a distorted view of ourselves. Asking for honest assessments from trustworthy and objective individuals creates a more balanced picture of our abilities and areas for improvement. It is helpful to remember that a person's worth is not based on a single comment or a series of criticisms. We are a sum of our experiences, skills, values, and actions. Building a solid self-image involves recognizing this and giving less power to isolated criticisms while integrating compliments and constructive feedback in a balanced manner. Navigating through negativity with energy intelligence. Navigating through negativity with energy intelligence involves recognizing and managing our emotional energy as a limited and valuable resource. This starts with self-awareness, acknowledging our energy levels and the situations or people that most affect us. Identifying moments that drain or revitalize us helps us better understand what consumes us and what strengthens us. Establishing clear boundaries is crucial to protect our energy. Limiting time with negative people and avoiding stressful situations preserves our emotional health. Practices such as meditation, physical exercise, and creative hobbies recharge our emotional reserves, keeping us balanced. Consciously selecting our battles is another effective strategy. Not every confrontation deserves our energy. Evaluating the importance of a situation before getting involved helps save energy for what really matters. Cultivating a positive, solution-focused mindset avoids the cycle of negativity. Connecting with people who elevate us strengthens our emotional state and provides support to face challenges. Positive relationships act as a buffer against toxic interactions. In moments of stress, visualization and breathing techniques help maintain calm and mental clarity. Imagining a protective shield or focusing on breathing minimizes the negative impact, preserving our energy and focus. Remembering that our energy is valuable encourages us to continuously invest in our well-being. By adopting a strategic and proactive approach, we can navigate negativity with resilience, maintaining our integrity and thriving in the face of adversity. The importance of establishing and maintaining personal boundaries. Establishing and maintaining personal boundaries is essential for the health of any relationship, especially in contexts where toxicity is present. Clear boundaries allow us to define how far we are willing to tolerate others' behaviors, protecting our emotional integrity and respecting our personal space. Firstly, boundaries are a form of emotional self-defense. They function as a shield that protects us from attitudes and actions that can be harmful. When we know how far we can go and where we need to stop, we avoid situations that may cause us stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Moreover, boundaries help to build and maintain mutual respect in a relationship. When we communicate our boundaries clearly and assertively, we send a message that we value and respect ourselves. This encourages others to treat us with the same respect. To establish effective boundaries, it is important to first know and understand our own values and needs. This requires introspection and honesty with oneself. Ask yourself what you really want and what is unacceptable in your interactions with others. Communicating these boundaries clearly and directly is the next crucial step. Use assertive, non-aggressive language, focusing on I instead of you. For example, instead of saying "you are annoying me," say "I need some time alone right now." Maintaining these boundaries also requires consistency and firmness. It is natural to face resistance, especially from people accustomed to crossing our boundaries. However, it is essential to remain firm and not give in to pressure. Reinforcing your boundaries when they are tested strengthens your position and makes it clear that you take your well-being seriously. Maintaining boundaries also involves being willing to follow through with consequences when they are violated. This may mean distancing yourself temporarily from a person or redefining the nature of the relationship. The willingness to act according to the established boundaries reinforces their importance. Another vital aspect is to review and adjust boundaries as necessary. As we grow and change, our boundaries may also need to evolve. Being attentive to these changes and adapting to them helps ensure that our boundaries continue to serve us well. Establishing and maintaining personal boundaries is an ongoing practice of self-awareness, clear communication, and firmness. These boundaries not only protect us from toxicity, but also promote mutual respect and emotional health. By clearly defining what we tolerate and what we do not, we create an environment where we can thrive emotionally and build healthier, more balanced relationships. If you're enjoying this, don't miss out on the opportunity. Purchase the ebook now. Stoicism in the 21st Century: Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges, and unlock your prosperity, abundance, and improve your relationships with this ebook. Link in the pinned comment. Fostering an environment of support and mutual understanding. Fostering an environment of support and mutual understanding is essential for mitigating negativity and providing a space of emotional safety. Surrounding ourselves with people who understand and support our efforts acts as a powerful antidote against toxicity, offering the strength and perspective needed to face and overcome challenges. Firstly, a supportive environment is built on the foundation of open and honest communication. This means creating a space where everyone feels safe to express their feelings, concerns, and needs without fear of judgment or reprimand. Active listening plays a crucial role here, where each person feels heard and valued. Moreover, empathy is a fundamental component in a supportive environment. Putting oneself in another's shoes, trying to understand their emotions and perspectives, strengthens the bonds of trust and mutual respect. Empathy allows people to connect on a deeper level, facilitating genuine support in times of need. Encouraging positive attitudes and celebrating others' achievements also contributes to a supportive environment. Recognizing and valuing accomplishments, no matter how small, helps build a climate of encouragement and motivation. This recognition creates an atmosphere where everyone feels appreciated and inspired to continue progressing. Maintaining consistency and support is equally important. Being present not only in good times but also in times of difficulty strengthens the emotional safety net. This consistency reinforces trust and the feeling of belonging, showing that support is continuous and not conditional. Additionally, it is essential to create a space where constructive feedback is welcomed and appreciated. A supportive environment does not mean the absence of criticism, but rather the presence of criticism that is respectful and intended to help in growth and development. This type of feedback strengthens resilience and the ability to face challenges with a positive mindset. Self-care should also be encouraged within a supportive environment. Promoting physical and emotional well-being practices such as exercise, meditation, and relaxing hobbies helps maintain balance and mental health for all involved. Taking care of oneself allows each person to contribute more effectively to the supportive environment. Knowing how to ask for help is a valuable skill that should be cultivated. Often, people hesitate to seek support for fear of appearing weak or burdening others. Encouraging openness to request help when needed reinforces the idea that we are all interdependent and that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Celebrating diversity within the group is vital. Recognizing and valuing the different experiences, skills, and perspectives that each person brings to the environment enriches the group dynamics and promotes a culture of inclusion and respect. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about how you have been dealing with toxic situations in your life. Let's build together a space of support and growth. Thank you for joining us thus far and for investing in your well-being.